Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Quad City sports fans of all ages, Town Square Media is proud to present to you the best Quad City sports talk radio show in the world. With the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, J-Bird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City sports talk radio show. We're not the Quad City sports talk radio show. We are your Quad City sports talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the dawn.
It's a new year. It's a new day. It's Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, everybody. Welcome to 2021. In house with me, I have the lovely Miss Bomber.
Hello.
The Corral with Cheez-Its.
Hello.
Jay Bird Foster, and yours truly, T. Rizzle.
Yep.
My personal favorite.
We're back.
Same.
We're back to the regular schedule. The holidays was so goofy that we were doing less than part-time. We were doing 20% of the time. So.
Well, Jay, you're always 100% to me, bud.
Yeah, there you go.
100% hot.
A tan.
right.
You're a tan.
But we're already 4 days into the new year, and, things are looking better. There's a lot to unpack here still. We had bowl games over the weekend. We had Week 17 football. Firings all over the NFL. Not all over.
Six.
There's 6 open spots.
Wish there was 7.
The NFL is draining the swamp, everybody.
We'll get to
I mean,
that.
If Mike McCarthy were just fell in a deep hole, I don't want him to die. Just fall in a deep hole.
Yeah, or quicksand, like a Treyu.
No, I don't want him to die.
Was it a
Just
Treyu?
fall in a deep
No.
hole, and
Was the
then
other guy.
they can't find him for a while, and so then by the time they find him, it's already next season, and we had to hire a new coach because we couldn't find him.
I don't disagree with that.
That kind of thing, that old bug.
Well, you're not wrong at all.
I know.
He rarely is.
And Jay, I got so many good things. Leah, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to it's a new year, and apparently you are no longer the
I'm not the
Moneyline- You're not the Moneyline Mama anymore.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. I will always be the Moneyline Mama.
Oh, you're gonna have to redeem yourself.
I'm confused.
Corral beat you.
I
What?
beat her?
Yes,
Yes.
Leah, you only got 7 right, kid. Corral got 9, and Jay and I tied at 12. And I go back and question
4.
myself: why did I pick Cincinnati over Baltimore?
Yeah,
Was I doing that to?
Why
appease
did I
you?
pick Clemson?
Did I do that? I didn't. I took Baltimore, right?
You took Baltimore, Jay.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about NFL, aren't we?
But
Yeah.
Jay, why did you take Detroit over Minnesota?
Because I want Mike Zimmer to be fired.
Oh, okay.
I
it
think
was
you
like-
said that when
Yeah,
we
so it
picked
was
it.
just like, well, I don't care about this game at all. I just want.
Well, and I
Mike
know
Zimmer
why I
to be
took San
fired.
Francisco over Seattle because I was rooting for my boy Beathard.
Yeah. And that was going to be a close one.
And I never should have taken Dallas. I should have picked against them, and then it still didn't matter. I don't care.
It's all my fault.
They wouldn't have won anyway because Philly likes to tank. Apparently,
Well,
I mean,
there's a lot of
apparently.
New York Giants fans that aren't happy out there. I don't. So this is, I guess I'm going to have to put this in your shoes. If the Cowboys would have won that game,
Yeah.
you would be in the situation where the New York Giants were in, that the night game, Washington played Philadelphia.
Right.
Philadelphia was close enough as it was going on. Jalen Hurts wasn't very good. 7 of 20 at the time, but he had rushed for a couple touchdowns, I believe.
And what was the score when they benched him? That's the fuzzy.
They were down by 3 when they went for it on 4th, down early in the 4th quarter, and instead of kicking the field goal, and then they went to Nate Sudfeld after that. So he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. So it's like you can see it. But he had told everybody that they're going to play them. So it's not like the coach is actually tanking on them. The front office actually knew what was going on as well, which leads me to believe that.
Well, they
Ted
already
Peterson's
had
gonna
like
have
a
his job.
ton of players sit out the game anyway.
Yeah, like Miles Sanders was out.
Alshon Jeffrey,
London Fletcher was out. A lot of guys were out.
Fletcher Cox.
And then, so the thing that you got to remember is that this is also the difference between a 6 and a 9 pick in the 2021 NFL draft. Would you have been pretty upset, though, as a Cowboy fan, after you'd gone through that emotional roller coaster of that game? Which, by the way,
There's no reason they should have lost. But yeah, I probably would have. you know my point. I didn't want them to make the playoffs because it doesn't matter who the first round they're going to lose to Tampa Bay. That's basically what was going to happen. They're going to get whoever plays Tampa Bay is getting boat raced.
Yeah.
So fine. So let's say they get in the playoffs or whatever. What I'm saying, if they would have won and they would have been tuned to go to the playoffs, probably a little disappointed. I mean,
if you're
just because of the fact, okay, I got to watch my team play one more week.
Well, we listened to a little bit beforehand, before that we were on, Greeny was on, and he, lit up Doug Peterson.
Oh.
He said it was a travesty to the NFL and the game of football. If you're a Giant, I guess you can see it that way, someone's maybe tanking, but if you're a Giants fan, you got to look at not converting that 2-point conversion against Tampa Bay. You got to look at when you had the lead against the Cowboys earlier in the season and you blew that lead. There are certain games that they had that they could have won. They won 6 games on the year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, just how pathetic the entire conference is. That the winner of the conference is 7-9.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really?
Yeah, that's not what.
That's not even a winning record.
That's unprecedented.
It is unprecedented. But we're in a new year.
Before.
We are.
It's a whole new year.
Unprecedented.
It doesn't feel any different though.
It
guys.
doesn't. Yeah. But what I'm getting at is who cares? You're a stinky conference.
Yeah, do you really want that divisional banner of this year?
Not really, no.
Yeah.
And what did the Giants want to be the first team to start 1-7 and make the playoffs? I mean, whatever. I fine.
You're at stat. Okay, looking around the league, Buffalo just Miami needed to win that game to get into the playoffs.
I know.
Fight their
I feel
way.
so
and then,
bad for Miami. I love Miami still.
Yeah. Buffalo won 56-26. Josh Allen 18-25, 224 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tua Tagovailoa 35-58, 361 yards. New Orleans put it on Carolina 33-7. The Green Bay game, the Bears, we watched that in the afternoon. Aaron Rodgers throws 4 touchdown passes. At one point, he was 11 for 11. Ended up going 19-24.
Yeah, he's terrible.
He's really good, and he's going to be the MVP. He'll be the MVP of the year, and rightfully so. It's that one. I really never thought the Bears. Even though
what
the
was
Bears
it?
had
He was a 10 for 10.
11 for 11.
Or 11 for 11, and then he threw one that should have been a touchdown. It would have been.
Yeah.
It would have been 12 for 12,
Yeah.
and Exxon Valdez.
Yeah, that's right.
dropped it.
Baltimore beat Cincinnati 38-3. Lamar Jackson, 113 yards, 3 TDs, becomes the first quarterback with back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing yards. Cleveland survived the second-string Steelers, 24-22.
Yeah. I think they're playoff.
Well, we're gonna see because we get to guess the lines later on in the show because they'll be playing Pittsburgh next.
You gotta do it
round.
before I go.
What time are you leaving?
You leave at 1:15.
Okay, we'll make sure we do it earlier then.
I put
There's
16.
only 6 games, so.
Okay.
Indianapolis beat Jacksonville 28-14. Las Vegas over Denver in a game that nobody watched, 32-31. Minnesota over Detroit 37-35. Cousins had 405 yards, 3 TDs. Stafford 293 yards, 3 TDs. Tennessee survives Houston 41-38. Derrick Henry becomes the 8th running back to rush for 2,000 yards in an NFL season.
Holy cow.
He's also the only one in history to do it at all 3 levels of his football career. He rushed for over 2,000 yards all 4 years in high school. He rushed for over 2,000 yards at Alabama in a season. He rushed for 2,000 yards here at Tennessee.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Yep. Chargers beat Kansas City, who started Chad Henne at quarterback, so don't look at it that way. And now it looks like Kansas City will get close to what's almost like 3 weeks off because they rested all their starters because they get the bye because they're the 1 seed in the AFC.
Are they going to come out flat, though?
Andy Reid off a bye.
We all know how that goes.
This ain't a bye.
Nope. New England.
It's true.
28
Don't touch me.
over the Jets. They had 14. Adam Gase has been fired.
Shocker.
Speaking of the Chargers, we just mentioned Anthony Lynn. Even though in his 4 years he went 33-31, he's been let go as the Chargers as of this morning.
You got canned.
I did mention Jacksonville before that as well. Their coach was fired also. We already talked about the Giants over the Dalton Cowboys. Mike McCarthy should be fired. The man who said that he did nothing but study analytics for a year really, really dropped the ball in this one. When they were down I believe at the time, 20-9. Ezekiel Elliott powered his way in for a touchdown, and at that point, now that makes it 20-15, and everything about it right there screams go for two, and he kicked the extra point.
It's analytics, Jay. He's been studying.
So instead of the possibility of moving it to 20-17, he moved it to 20-16. Then they came down the field again, roughly about 8 minutes later, kicked a 38-yard field goal, I believe, to make it 20-19. And then the Giants kicked a field goal, 51-yarder, off of a incomplete pass that they ruled a completion, and Mike McCarthy decided not to challenge it. So all the things that were in his favor, analytically wise, he decided to go against the grain. I don't want to lay more on your Dalton Cowboys, but Mike McCarthy, you and Mike Zimmer should be fired.
You're fired.
Mike.
The Washington football team did play the Philadelphia Tanking Eagles. Ron Rivera wins the division. First-year coach at Washington, not a first-year coach in the NFL. Alex Smith is comeback player of the year. There's not a comeback coach of the year, but yeah.
Do you remember when he played for the Chiefs?
Yeah, I remember when he played for the 49ers.
It was a beautiful thing.
There is no comeback coach of the year, but we got to give credit
I'm still
is
mad
due
at him.
for
Sorry.
Riverboat Ron. He battled cancer and then got his team to win the NFC East. So, Rams beat Arizona 18-7 and got the Bears into the playoffs. Because with the the Cardinals lost, the Bears got in. Seattle beat San Francisco 26-23. And Tampa Bay 44 over Atlanta 27. So that's like 91 points they put up in the last 2 weeks. Tampa Bay has.
We knew that, though. We knew that was coming.
What did we hear about Mike Evans? How bad was that knee?
I think they think he's going to come back.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
By the way, first player ever started 7 straight seasons over 1,000 yards receiving.
Yes, but I think they were actually pushing for that because remember in that game that was over against the Lions last week that was over with by halftime and they still just kept chucking the ball just to him. Yeah. I think they would have been trying to get him to that mark.
Well, that's fine. It's nice of them.
Mm-hmm. So it was a fun day. Football, a lot of afternoon games. I wish they did more of it. I didn't like the night game. I still believe, and maybe I'm wrong. I thought they used to always do it, all of them at noon for something like that for tanking reasons. I just think all of them should be at 3:30.
Okay.
I don't think there should be a night game. I think because of this, there will not be a night game anymore because of what we just saw. I like them too. I like Monday Night Football. We don't have one of those this week. But I think of because of what happened here, and this has happened in the past. In 2009, Cincinnati was playing somebody, I believe it was the Jets. And Cincinnati had already clinched a playoff spot. Like a loss was like a 5 seed, win was like 4. Now that would have been division. But Cincinnati ended up, they said all week long, we're playing to win. And then at the last minute, they pulled everybody. And ever since then, the final week of the season has been a divisional game. So the NFL has changed the way they do things on week 16 before. Well, this was week 17, but they'll so I don't think you'll see a night game anymore.
I don't like that. Dislike button.
Well, the only other option from what I understand was the Rams and the Cardinals, which could have been the same situation. You know, the Bears needing them to lose, and the Rams were starting John Wolford.
Well, their quarterback was injured.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
they didn't have a lot of choices.
So,
hey, you know what though? Brett Favre played with a broken thumb.
Well, congratulations to the Bears and to my boy Ozzy. He won himself a keg party at Pints.
And I picked the Packers.
Yeah.
And you know what? My son came home.
Bears backed their way into the playoffs.
My son came home, and we had a mommy-daughter day yesterday, Lyric and I. Yeah, we do that every once in a while. We went shopping, and we did all that stuff. So I bought my son a pair of Cubs pajama pants. Adorable, little tiny little thing he is. And he comes home, and he goes, I don't like those. I was like, what do you mean you don't like those? He goes, I like the Bears now. I was like, different sport, bro. Not the same. Not the same. But okay. I'll get you some Bears pants.
I got
My bandwagon fan.
I got my first text line text of the new year during the show just a minute ago.
You did what?
And even though I didn't write down, it's something I thought of, so I want to thank a friend of the show, Miriam, to remind me that today was Dan Le Batard's last day at ESPN, and which is a really, really big deal.
Wow.
Really?
If
Yeah.
I knew that, I would have listened the whole way here.
And he, well, there would have been Greeny on there, but
Oh, okay.
they're kind of going in this weird. This is like something that we saw coming a long time ago. I mean, he openly would criticize the front office people at ESPN. And I remember last year, I think it was like week 1 of the NFL, and the Bears were playing Rodgers, and he had a banged up knee, and he was talking about something else, and he flat out on the air just stopped talking because he got a call from up above that they wanted him to talk about Aaron Rodgers' knee. And he was on the air saying, I'm just
Okay.
tired of this.
That's
He said-
micromanaging.
But he said, I'm tired of it. He goes, everyone's talking about his knee. It's not like we're going to be able to call him up and be like, and ask about,
Right.
And he's just going to give us all the information we want. And you could just tell, like right then and there, that it was all kind of writing on the wall. He did not like the micromanagement. He wanted to do things his
Yeah.
way. You know, there's always time.
Nobody
for
likes to be
people.
micromanaged.
But the thing about Le Batard is they would always go completely different. And I'm never going to be the first to tell you I'm a number one fan of Le Batard. I listen to him when I can. I think Stu Gatz is funny as can be. But
It
they
took
also
me a while for him to grow on me, to be honest with you.
but they just did things that were a little bit different. I will tell you that when we look at the year in review, a lot of times that made me smile is some of the goofy things that we do here. They just doubled down and did even more. Because there's been times where people are like, you guys need to stick, talk to sports, talk only about sports, blah, blah, blah.
No, we don't have to
during
do
that,
nothing.
You had to do a lot of things. Can I plug that in real quick?
Oh, yeah.
So, what they're going to do now is they're basically in a free agent period. They started a podcast network, and they still have Stupidity with Stu Gatz and the Dan Le Batard Show with Stu Gatz, and they have a lot of other things. This is just a matter of time before this thing gets bought by Spotify.
This whole thing?
No, Le Batard, his brand, kind of like Bill Simmons when he ran the Ringer Network.
I enjoyed listening to him.
But I mean, they're just they brought a different type of show to everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss the weekend review from Stu Gatz, and
You're who got me.
the Stu Gatz
to
is
listen to
strong in
him.
you, and so it'll be good for what they're doing.
Well, this show is not going to be able to continue if the way we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Because she talks way too much.
I talk
know.
way too much.
I don't think she talks enough.
I'm joking.
I love my Corral with cheese. Love you.
That's probably true. Erickson says this on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread that he won 2 cases of beer and 3 6-packs of
I
beer
saw
on the Packers Bear games party time, and I think Jay owes me a handle of Fireball because they finished better than 8-8. It's probably pretty true. When we go back and look at my predictions, they're not the strongest out there.
I miss being able to comment, you guys. I want to comment on your. I can't. I'm in Facebook jail, so
Because you're still in Facebook jail.
I am.
Just delete Facebook. Who
I
cares?
did. I deleted the app, but I have to have it for this so that I can.
Oh.
Did
I
you
wanna,
make
I
a
wanna,
new account?
No, I will never do that. It's not that important. But I will interact via, on air with the people. But I can't comment. And you know how hard it is when people say things that you know are blatantly wrong. You're like, yeah, I can't.
Maybe
say
it's teaching you self-control.
No, I don't like it.
Knew what you were saying, Leah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what? You thought she was changing?
I know.
No.
I know. As far as
I
scheduling
know
goes,
she's
for,
getting her hair done. But
for
I am.
ESPN
Yeah.
Radio 1170, Greeny will move up to 9 o'clock. I don't know if that means he goes right into 12, and then so we're not interrupting someone right in the middle of the show. But that being said, Le Batard has done a lot to open up the doors to do a lot of different things besides just read the right-hand column of ESPN and talking about what the highlights are on ESPN.com. So,
but you're absolutely right when you say that, because we were listening to Greeny, and he talked about Doug Peterson and the Giants. That's going to be the biggest story today.
Mhm.
The second is going to be some of the firings.
Yep.
Okay? As soon as he's off the air, in comes Kellerman. You know what Kellerman's going to talk about? Doug Peterson and the Giants.
Very, very much.
And the firings throughout the NFL.
Yep.
Boom. And then
Let's
and
rank
then when he's
the
done,
6 openings.
at 6 o'clock, here comes Jalen, Jacoby, and Meow Meow Doohickety, whoever they find to put on. I don't know. They just find people from anywhere. They'll grab one of us one day, probably. And then, you know what they're all going to talk about? Doug Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
the
see what he
Giants.
said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to be continuous blah, 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 blah. But you know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about
I'm not.
Leah didn't win.
I'm not. First of all, I'm not a Republican, y'all, so you can quit with that right there.
But you didn't win.
I'm a constitutionalist. What?
You didn't win.
I don't want to. You know what? I'm leaving. You guys are.
You can't leave. Doors
Did that
locked.
before.
You are.
All right, we are going to take our first break of the hour. Now, I said that Derrick Henry rushed for 2,000 yards, making him the eighth running back to do that in a season. So during the break, T-Roy, I want you to think of who the other 7 are.
Okay.
All right, but we got to take our first break here on Don't Hassle Us for Local. Give me something.
Done Right TV and Security Solutions is proud to be your Dish premier local retailer. Use Dish's voice remote. See, all right, here we go. Use Dish's voice remote to search live TV, over 80,000 on-demand titles, and Netflix at the same time. Done Right has all the products you need to turn your home into a smart home. Not only do they have state-of-the-art products, they even have their own installation experts for TV mounts, wireless networks, home theaters, security systems, and more, which you'll need if you are friends with Corral with Cheese. Call 866-84-RIGHT today to get the package that is right for you. Netflix streaming membership required. Voice remote requires internet-connected hopper. Restrictions do apply. Once again, that's Done Right TV and Security Solutions at 866-84-RIGHT.
I've been earning and burning, snapping necks and cashing.
You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Hey, this is Dorf with Dancing with the QC Stars. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us for Local.
Hey, Quad Cities, this is Jay Bird from ESPN 1170 AM's Don't Hassle Us for Local, and I'm sharing some exciting news with you. BetMGM Sports is coming soon to Iowa. That's right, the same folks that light up the Las Vegas Strip with the world's greatest sports books and casinos will be offering real money wagering on a state-of-the-art app that's easy to use and features all of your favorite sports. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks with parlay bonus payouts, in-game wagering, boosted odds specials, daily promotions, and much more. Plus, every time you make a wager, you'll earn credits in M Life Rewards, the exclusive loyalty program of MGM Resorts. Now, every game and every play will mean something more, no matter what your favorite sport is. It's almost showtime, so get ready to experience sports like never before. Be among the first fans in the state to download the BetMGM Sports app, coming soon to Iowa. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Iowa only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
If you don't think analytics are a useful tool in winning games in sports, then what you should do is when you go to the racetrack, you should just pick horses based upon which one you think is the prettiest. You should disregard everything else you might find in a racing form. You should pick stocks based upon how much you like the names of the companies. Disregard information that might help you make an informed decision. You wouldn't do that because you're not an idiot, and neither are the people running sports teams and making decisions. Analytics are a great example of something that has turned into a hot button topic as we've attached a fancy or frightening word to a very simple concept. Analytics are just the things that have happened. That's all they are. They're just telling you what's happened. In the past, this has happened.
Greeny, weekdays at 11 on Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
2020 was challenging, but Winger Truck Line is still running strong. Hey, it's Eric, and our Class A CDL drivers get home more often now than ever before with regional and regional home daily runs. Come join us for a successful 2021. Full-time, part-time, and the best lease purchase plan available anywhere. Call me today, 800-593-6433, or see us online at drivewtl.com.
The Max Kellerman Show.
Kendrick Perkins.
Max, you argued me down on First Take about how good of a player Chris Middleton was.
No, I didn't.
And I told you, yes, you did. And I told you that he wasn't that type of guy, right?
But he did
play. Oh, I'm making stuff up.
I argued for Chris Middleton. No, I said Chris Middleton should be at best the third best player on a championship team. You need another dude who can go get his own shot and do it on a higher level than Middleton if you want to pair him with Giannis to win a championship. I never said anything different than that. I wasn't thinking the Bucks were going to win a title this year.
So did you have a Bucks coming out of the East?
Yep. I sure did. Shut up, Perk. Why are you bringing up old stuff?
The Max Kellerman Show. Weekdays at 2 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
At Crawford Company, we specialize in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Sports, on the other hand...
Hey, Crawford guy, go long!
No, I can't.
Here comes the pitch to Crawford guy. Strike 3.
Come on, Crawford guy, take the shot.
Sports may not be our specialty, but home comfort is. Crawford Company, plumbing and drain cleaning, heating and air conditioning.
Hey, Quad Cities, it's Jaybird with Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Get your local sports talk 12 to 2 with me, T-Roy, Bomber, and Surge. Download the station app to listen to us anywhere, and like us on social media to join in the conversation. Plus, when you sign up to be an ESPN Insider, you'll get access to all of our great contests and everything that's going on at ESPN1170am.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged. We are the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
We're the escape from your boss. The best sports talk lives right here every day. ESPN 1170.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Don't Hassle Us Local here on AM 1170.
12:26 in the afternoon.
And Corral does not look orange to me.
Corral looks adorable, per usual. Take
And
that.
21. Okay, before the break.
Yes.
I reminded you that Derrick Henry rushed for 2,000 yards yesterday. Not yesterday, but for the season.
Yep.
And he became the 8th running back to do so.
Okay.
Let's see if you can guess the other 7.
Are we going to have music?
I'm going to, tee it up right here.
Okay, wait, so is this just Troy playing?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Orenthal James Simpson.
Yep.
Simpson?
That's one.
Chris Johnson, CJ2K.
Yep, 2009.
That's a fancy.
Eric Dickerson.
1984.
Adrian Peterson.
2012.
Bear Sanders.
1997.
Jamal Charles.
2003.
And Jamal Lewis.
Oh, sorry, I put Jamal Lewis. Jamal Lewis did do it in 2003. No, Jamal Charles did not do it.
What?
Dang
You're
on
missing
it.
one.
I missed one?
I have his
Yeah, you're
jersey.
still missing one. You got 2 more guesses if you want to.
It was a Kansas City Chief.
No, it was not. Same conference. I mean, same division, yeah.
Oh, never mind. I know who it was.
Yep.
Denver Bronco.
Yes, it was.
Eric. Or no.
Nope.
Oh shoot. He had all the headaches.
You mean concussions?
No, he used to get
Yeah, that
headaches.
one.
He had braces.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, daggone it. What's his name? Davis.
Terrell Davis, that's right.
Yes.
That's really good, though. I would have.
He had braces?
I probably would have got like 4.
Yeah.
Out of these 7,
Serge just texted me.
4 won the MVP that year. Out of that 7.
Serge just texted and said Terrell Davis right before you did.
Eric Dickerson did not win the MVP that year. Jamal Lewis did not win the MVP that year. Chris Johnson won the MVP that year. Of that 7, 6 out of the 7 won Offensive Player of the Year when they did that.
He will not. He will not.
He could still win Offensive Player of the Year.
Who?
And just not MVP, but who?
I think it's going to go to Rodgers.
I think he's going to.
in here?
Well, I'm asking. They're ignoring me per usual.
Eric Dickerson did not win Offensive Player of the Year. He asked who was going to win it. I said, I mean, he could win it. I don't know if he'll get it
I think
either.
Rodgers gives them both, don't you?
Maybe. Let's see.
Who else had a monster year this year? Any receiver?
My quarterback. He didn't have a bad year.
Oh, yeah. Well,
he had a fine year. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This is like the only time this is weird that you say that, because this is the only time I've ever been like prepared for this. And I didn't even, this is by weird chance. Stephon Diggs led the league in receptions and yards.
What's it at? What did he do?
He had over 1,500 receiving yards, and he had 127 receptions. He, however, though, as far as touchdowns go, he's not in the. Why was he not in the top 10 for touchdowns?
Because you didn't get in the end zone, Jay.
Devontae Adams had the most receiving touchdowns, and he's number 2 in receptions and number 5 in receiving yards, and he was hurt.
How many touchdowns?
18. 3 more than the next closest, and he was hurt. But that might keep him back as well.
He might win it then. It's going to be him or Rodgers.
Derrick Henry has the most attempts, the most yards, and the most rushing TDs.
Do you think they're going to feel like whoever wins, do you think they're going to feel like it's a substantial or as substantial as a normal season's award?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's fine.
Okay.
This isn't like the NBA bubble or whatever. They got 256 games in. I know they moved some games around, but they did not lose a single game or anything.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, it's a legitimate question.
Yeah, I would
100%.
feel, yeah.
But I just think this one, because they got all of them in and everything, like I think and there wasn't, I know they had to be some moving parts. But
there might have been some players that sat out here and there on certain teams or whatever else, but I would still say you were out there performing against NFL talent.
Oh, for sure, which is the top 1% of athletes, for sure.
Yeah, so this counts.
Okay. I just wanted to get your guys' input on that.
I think totally legit season.
Well,
no asterisks.
Since we're talking about the season, it's time to go back.
By the way, though, I mean, if you're going to look at 2,000-yard seasons, I mean, you have to take OJ's and hold it up to a higher standard than anyone else's.
Because he only had 14 games as opposed to everyone else having 16.
And the glove didn't fit.
He had the most. He averaged the most yards per game. He was number 2 in yards per attempt. 12 touchdowns that year, but and he had he didn't have as many. Not as many attempts as everybody else. He had the least amount of attempts actually. Other ones that stick out: Terrell Davis's year, 21 touchdowns, only 2 fumbles.
Yeah. Does he still have braces?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, but when you have that much money, can't you just be like, put him off for a week and take him off?
I don't know.
No, dude. I'm just saying he had braces.
It's interesting to me. Why not Invisalign? I mean,
I don't think they had it back then. It was like the early 90s.
Yeah,
late 90s.
And he still got him on?
Other records that happened this season. Tom Brady made his 299th career start. He passed Brett Favre for the most by QB.
Down goes Favre.
Phillip Rivers threw his 421st career touchdown pass, moving him ahead of Dan Marino for 5th on the all-time list. I'd already told you that Lamar Jackson's the first QB with multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Justin Jefferson broke Anquan Bolden's record for most receiving yards by a rookie in the Super Bowl era. He had 88 receptions for 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns.
What a year. Man, what a good kid. Dude.
Next year, we will now have 17 games. They added an 8-week 18 because of, obviously, the bye. So they took away a preseason, they added a 17. That's part of the agreement that they had.
So we'll have a 17-game schedule next year?
Yep, there will be no 8-8s or 9-7s or 13-3s, which means that the 2008 Lions, that's for you, Randazzo, and the 2017 Browns will be the only teams that have ever finished 0-6 team.
Did you get that, Coral?
More likely, probably.
Did you get that?
Why you gotta do that to Dazzo, man? Oh, Dazzo.
All right, so speaking of the NFL season, week 1 started, and I wrote my extreme predictions for the 2020 season. Let's see how I did.
Let's see what you did. Well, I can tell you this.
The first one was that the Jacksonville Jaguars will not win a single game at home this year.
They won their very first game.
That's the only game they won.
2021 is your year, Jay Foster.
Then I came firing right back with the prediction. The San Francisco 49ers will not win the NFC West.
You got that one right.
I did get that one. I had them at 9-7, though, and making the playoffs. So it's off there, yeah. Then I had Joe Burrow will break the single-game passing record for a rookie NFL quarterback in a Week 3 shootout loss at Philadelphia.
You got that one wrong.
It was close. I think he flirted around 400.
Yeah.
Burn, burn, burn.
I said the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win the NFC South and the New England Patriots would win the AFC East.
Wrong and wrong.
I said the same thing about the Buccaneers, though.
So did
I. I said the Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl. And I even made a $20 bet for T-Roy.
Yeah.
Oh,
so 2020 Jay really screwed me. I brought that up the other day.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, 2020 Jay.
Yeah.
Way to jinx my team.
2020 Jay was the worst.
The worst. Just the worst. And I said that the Chicago Bears would win the NFC North. None of them should.
So you got one thing right.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
They were extreme.
They were bold.
And then I put the...
Jay's bringing 2020 into 2021.
I got something else for you. I just don't know where I put it at right now.
What are you looking for?
Well, we're guessing the lines. Oh,
We'll
you need to
do
fill
that
this
soon.
up, girls.
We'll do it after the next break. Yeah.
You fill out your playoff predictions.
I need a pencil.
Okay.
But if you had any, I need that back.
Okay, you can have it back.
Purple pen.
But hey, now if you have anything where you like a major upset, it will recede. So
Okay, what are we betting on this? Because I'm not doing this unless I'm going to win some money. So
beers.
We got a couple days.
beers,
Beers and shots.
bars and shots.
Now
I
don't know
need
where
any more of those right now.
I wanted to look at where I had this at. All right, so we have the seating is done. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
here's your 1. The Chiefs. The Bills are the 2. The Steelers are the 3. The Titans are the 4. Ravens are the 5. Browns are the 6. Colts are the 7.
All I'm going to say to you girls, if you have a 6 or 7 seed upsetting someone, let me know because then it'll reseed who plays the first seed, okay?
So you guys do that while
See the little number next to the Cleveland and the Rams and the Bears and the Colts?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the seed, if you pick any of those teams to win, let me know so I can help you reseed how the playoffs will go because it won't go off this grid. You follow me? It'll change. Just tell me if you have any of those teams winning, and then I'll help you out.
Okay, so we basically see that my extreme predictions are no good. All right. I mean, we get that. I get it. But
why are you giggling?
I'm concentrating. I'm not listening. Clear the mechanism.
That's shocking.
I can't do 2 things at once, you guys.
Me neither. I cannot concentrate.
Oh my god. Well, 2021's about the same.
Focus.
So while you guys are filling that out, I'm going to let you guys what my predictions were for who made the playoffs. All right.
Uh-huh.
How did you do? Good or bad?
It wasn't too bad. All right, so we both had. Well, I had Kansas City as the number 1 seed, and they actually got it.
Do you have mine down?
No.
Okay.
Mine just happens to be because I wrote about it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yours would be. So you can find yours.
I might have had it.
I had Baltimore as the number 2 seed. The Bills are actually up, but Baltimore did make the playoffs. I have Tennessee as the 3. There's the 4 now. I had New England making it. They didn't make it at all. I had the Steelers as the 5. They are the 3. I had the Colts as the 6. They're the 7. I had the Browns as the 7, and they are the 6. So I got 6 out of 7 to make the playoffs.
Who did you
for
get
the
wrong?
AFC? The only one was New England. So I didn't have the Bills coming through.
Okay.
So I only had one coming from the AFC. So I only got one team wrong. But obviously the seeding part didn't because I didn't get their records right. In the East, not the East, in the NFC, I had the Cowboys as the number 1 seed. Obviously that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I had Tampa Bay as the 2. They are the 5. They're 5. All right. I had Chicago as a 3. They are 7. I had the Rams as the 4.
They're 6.
They're 6. Then I had the 49ers. They didn't make it. I had the Saints as the 6.
Mm-hmm.
They're a 2. And then I had Minnesota as the 7. So I didn't have Seahawks in there. So I got 4 out of 7 there. So, yes. So out of 14, yeah, I went 11 out of 14 teams to make the playoffs. I got that right. So I know it's,
We'll play Green Bay.
Records here and there, whatnot, but
okay.
Not too bad. I mean, I can't. I'm not upset about that at all.
Okay.
So change what you think is going to happen.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, let's take our break, and they can predict that we can look at their playoffs, and then we can.
God, I feel like I'm back in school right now.
Then we can guess the lines after
This
that.
feels like a test.
It is.
I don't like it.
Me neither.
Locally
Hold
owned-
on, before we go to break, I'm going to leave you with something else. Another question.
For me?
Yes.
Okay.
In the 55 years of the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So for this year, Deshaun Watson led the league in passing yards.
Gotcha.
In the 55 years of the Super Bowl era, how many times has the quarterback that won the most passing yards, who threw for the most passing yards in the season, won the Super Bowl? That's what I'm going to ask you. When we come back from break, I'll let you know the number. Now you can hit me with that, please.
All right. Locally owned and operated since 1934, Tri-City Equipment is your source for restaurant equipment and value. Remember, they got everything you need from cookware, refrigeration, utensils, tableware, you name it. Check them out online at tricityequipment.com or stop down to 527 West 4th Street and look at their newly remodeled 2,400 square foot showroom. Remember, they deliver to all Quad City residents there, Cheez-It. And they match all online pricing, so tell Jeff Bezos to suck it. Give them a call today, 563-322-5382, and they can answer any questions you might have. Remember, the showroom hours are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. That's Tri-City Equipment, 527 West 4th Street in Davenport.
The Rock says he's gonna make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous.
We're going streaky! Yeah! You like that? You like that?
This is Ella Schmidt, the 106-pounder for Bettendorf, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
I can't tell you how many times I've been watching football and wanted to bet the game on my phone. Well, guess what? Now I can, because FanDuel Sportsbook is officially live in Iowa, and now you can register straight from your phone. To celebrate, they're kicking things off in a big way. FanDuel is giving new users their first bet risk-free. That's right, you'll get up to $1,000 back in-site credit if you don't win. Seriously. So not only can you bet on all your favorite teams, but you'll get up to $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. And that's just one of the reasons why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. Ease of use, easy to register, easy to deposit, easy to find your bet. Live betting. Easy to place your bet fast during a game if you see a trend you like. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and be sure to sign up with promo code GOODALL so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code GOODALL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Janae and Golick Jr.
We're going to get probably IU and Northwestern in the Big Ten title game and then have people staring up and wondering here, is Ohio State going to make it? I could see a very real world where they're missing the playoff all of a sudden. It's less to me about the sanctity of a conference championship, which has never quite frankly meant all that much to me. It's about another data point. And the Big Ten creating an opportunity for Ohio State to have that chance to show the committee yet again, because that's what conference championships really are. Not something you can hold over Notre Dame's head as an independent for all these years, but an opportunity when all of the committee is watching to go out there and show we deserve to be a part of this, because with the schedule they've played so far, with the performances Ohio State's put out there, I think you would have a hard time saying that resumes mean anything and allowing that Ohio State team in the playoff as it currently sits.
Janae and Golick Jr. 306 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
When you order for Casey's curbside pickup this winter, we bring your order outside.
Today's forecast, colder than the shady side of an iceberg.
So you can stay inside your warm car.
I love my heated seats.
We go outside.
Raw punishing winds.
You stay inside.
They're almost too warm.
Outside.
Tomorrow's high -3.
Inside.
So toasty.
Order for Casey's new curbside pickup and save with new deals like buy any large pizza, get one half off with promo code BOGO. Casey's, here for staying inside.
Bundle up, folks.
Here for good.
Hey, Quad Cities, this is Jay Bird from ESPN 1170 AM's Don't Hassle Us for Local, and I'm sharing some exciting news with you. BetMGM Sports is coming soon to Iowa. That's right, the same folks that light up the Las Vegas Strip with the world's greatest sports books and casinos will be offering real money wagering on a state-of-the-art app that's easy to use and features all of your favorite sports. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks with parlay bonus payouts, in-game wagering, boosted odds specials, daily promotions, and much more. Plus, every time you make a wager, you'll earn credits in M Life Rewards, the exclusive loyalty program of MGM Resorts. Now, every game and every play will mean something more, no matter what your favorite sport is. It's almost showtime, so get ready to experience sports like never before. Be among the first fans in the state to download the BetMGM Sports app, coming soon to Iowa. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Iowa only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Janae and Golick Jr.
You can still push forward playing. It's an impossible tightrope. Was it really worth it for you to have to go and mobilize? Is it worth it overall? And that's the hardest thing for me to reconcile when you have a season that looks like the odds of you making it to where you want to go are very slim. And now you're putting people in position where it's not their best luck either.
Janae and Golick Jr. 306 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. But maybe you're unaware of new tools that can help your business stand out. Go to GetLocalCustomersNow.com for a free market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too. There's no cost and no obligation. Be one of the first business owners to sign up and receive $500 in free advertising on this station. Get started today. Visit GetLocalCustomersNow.com. That's GetLocalCustomersNow.com.
Sign up to be an ESPN Insider. This is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back, sports fans. This is Don't Hassle Us Local on AM 1170. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, Cora, did you finish your homework?
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for paying attention and commenting on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread on Facebook Live. Reminder that those of you that are riding in the car or listening on the app, that you can watch us also on Facebook Live. Leave comments. Join the conversation. You can always call 563-391-3776 if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. And, speaking of that, I had a thing that I put out on Facebook. And I just said, tell us a New Year's resolution for your favorite sports team without saying championship, without saying title, championship, or trophy. And there were some good comments. Chip just wrote pitching. So obviously I know he's talking about the Cubs, right? And then there's something like keep Mahomes healthy. That's a resolution for a Chiefs fan. Craig Collins wrote new name, hail to the Steelers new QB, which is interesting. Hope Iowa fans can stop being so mad online after a loss. That's good. Yeah. Virginia McCaskey cleaning house in Chicago.
They're not happening.
Yeah. Someone else said they already accomplished it. They released Dwayne the Terrible Haskins. Using different type of words. I hope the Hawkeye basketball team finds gold in the March Madness tournament. Twins finally win a playoff game.
Wow, that's a jab at Jay.
Anderson said, no, Adams is a fan of the Twins.
Oh, okay.
Anderson said, I hope Jerry Jones comes to his senses.
Ha! Yeah. Anderson, I'm with you, dog.
Yeah. Steve wrote, open up the playbook for Tua so the O can help the defense win more games. So, like I said, if you ever have anything like that, give us a call, 563-391-3776. And also a reminder, you can listen on the ESPN 1170 app. Go to wherever you download the app. Go to ESPN 1170 AM. Download it. You can listen to the show. You can read the things I write. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. You want to do guess the lines first, and then we'll go through the playoff? What do you want to do?
I want to do my trivia question.
Oh, yeah. Okay, before we went to break.
Yeah,
I said that in the Super Bowl era, so 55 years, I asked T-Roy, how many times has the quarterback that led the league in passing yards won the Super Bowl? So you don't have to tell me who. Just give me a number.
Okay.
How many times?
I'm going to try to tell you who.
Okay.
And then you tell me how wrong I am after I'm done.
Oh, yep, you're going to go with who, and then I'm going to tell you how wrong you are. Okay, fine.
Okay. Baltimore in 1971, the passing leader would have been Unitas. Dallas, 78, they won the Super Bowl. Passing leader would have been Roger Staubach. Green Bay in 97, Brett Favre. St. Louis, turn on her mic, 2000, that would have been Kurt Warner.
Okay.
Indianapolis, 07, Peyton Manning.
Okay.
New Orleans, 2010, Drew Brees.
Okay.
And last year, Kansas City, 2020, Patrick Mahomes.
2019-20 Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well,
okay, let me go back over what you had, okay? 1971, Baltimore. You said Johnny Unitas, right?
Yep.
It was John Haddle for San Diego Chargers. He threw for 3,075 yards.
Wrong.
In 1978, you said Roger Staubach.
Yep.
It was Fran Tarkenton. He threw for 3,468 yards for Minnesota.
Wrong.
1997, you said Brett Favre.
Yep.
It was Jeff George. He threw for 3,917 yards.
I hate Jeff George.
2000, you said Kurt Warner.
Yep.
It was Peyton. Wait, that would have been the 99. No, that was the 99 season.
Yep.
Okay. It was Steve Berline of Carolina, threw for 4,436 yards.
Loser.
Okay, so what was your next one?
Well, it would have been the 06 season, but the 07 Super Bowl, Indianapolis Colts. Peyton Manning.
Okay, it was Drew Brees. 2009, 2010, right?
Yeah.
And what'd you say?
Drew Brees.
It was Matt Schaub. Now, finally,
Kansas City last year.
it was Jameis Winston. There's never been a quarterback in the Super Bowl era to win the Super Bowl the same year they threw for the most yards.
All right, well, I tried.
Well, it's a trick question. It's not really fair. You did a good job. I thought you did. Hey, listen.
Those are good guesses, man.
Great guesses. It's a trick question.
I had to go through all 55 Super Bowls.
New year, new Jay. Tricky.
Now Tricky Jay. Great.
Hey, do you want to turn my mic on?
Yeah, I
Thank
do.
you.
Sorry about that.
2021.
That's how we silence Bomber.
Tricky.
Oh, no. I'm censored enough,
Me and
okay?
Facebook.
Oh, I know you are.
Censored on Facebook.
Okay,
Censored
what do you
want to
do first? Do you want to listen to our picks?
Let's do the picks.
playoffs?
Well, let's do picks because I have to go
Okay.
soon.
Yeah, I've got you on the timer. I'm not going to keep you too long. Don't worry about it.
But I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'll go to break right after
You're triggering my FOMO.
Yeah, I'll go to break right when you have to leave. So after we'll do this, we'll guess the lines. There's only 6 games. So, okay. Let's just go left to right. We're doing wild card, all right?
Okay.
Well, let's do it. I know how we'll do it.
We'll do game by game.
Anderson said Troy sucks.
You suck, Anderson.
That's not nice. We're going to do it by time.
Guess what?
Is this really where
Guess
you
what,
want to
Anderson?
be when Jesus comes back?
Yeah, 2021, same Troy. I will slap you.
We're going to do it by time.
Jesus is coming back. This is not where
So
you want to
there's
be,
3
Jason.
games on Saturday, and there's 3 games on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
This is new because we've never had this many wild card games before. All right, so
Triple header.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite.
So at noon, the Indianapolis Colts will play the Buffalo Bills. Coral, who do you have winning, the Buffalo Bills or Indianapolis Colts?
Indianapolis.
She has Indianapolis Colts upsetting the Buffalo Bills. I have Buffalo winning that game.
I got Buffalo winning that game.
I also have Buffalo winning that game.
All right. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Like
Ruffalo Buffalo.
Giggles.
Sometimes
right.
I'm right.
What's the next
Now
one?
the doubleheader turns to the NFC.
Okay.
The Rams go to the Seahawks. NFC West battle.
Okay.
3:40 kickoff. We don't know much about Goff. I know they had said fingers crossed about playing, but I don't think he's going to play this week. But again, I'm not Shefty. I'm not reporting anything. I'm not in the ears of other NFL experts. But I have the upset. I have the Rams beating Seattle, regardless who's playing quarterback.
I do not. I have Seattle winning that game.
Me too.
Same.
Looks like Jay's wrong.
Jay's in the wrong. Okay. The night game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to the Washington football team.
I love it.
7:15 kickoff.
What do you got, Coral? I just want to hear a giggle.
Tampa Bay.
I also have Tampa Bay.
I also have Tampa
I just can't
Bay.
stop laughing at the Washington football team.
I know. It's ridiculous.
In his last 7 primetime games, Tom Brady
Yeah.
is 0-7 against the spread.
Okay.
He is 1-6 straight up in his last 7 primetime games.
Okay.
The teams he's lost to are all teams that can put pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz, and Chase Young can put pressure on a quarterback without having to blitz. And Tom Brady does not like to have pressure put on him.
Guess who's going to shut Chase Young
He doesn't
down?
like his footballs completely inflated either.
Guess who's going to shut down Chase Young?
Who's that?
Another rookie by the name of Tristan Wirfs. You might remember him. He played for the great Iowa Hawkeyes.
Okay, Tristan is from
Cedar Rapids.
No. Legends of the Fall.
Oh.
Well, this is
1-6.
the name, yes.
I mean, you got to remember that these
Okay,
Chicago Bears beat him.
you say Washington then if that's what you think.
No, I'm taking Tampa Bay.
That's what I thought.
Tricky.
I also took Tampon Bay.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then, so that moves us to Sunday.
Okay.
The noon game.
Yes, sir.
Ravens at Tennessee Titans, AFC South. No, that's not night. No, that's North and AFC South. Never mind. This is going to be a good game.
Oh, it's going to be a battle.
A battle
Yeah.
for the soul of the nation.
Ravens at the Tennessee Titans.
Who do you got, Leah?
You're the only 10 I see.
Yep. Corral?
Got the Ravens.
You watch too much Harry Potter.
I have the Ravens.
Hey.
I've got Tennessee.
Ayo.
Well, we're split then. Yeah, I've got the Ravens as well.
All right.
I got Tennessee.
Finally, someone agrees with me.
The Nickelodeon game. And the reason I tell you this is because this game is on Amazon Prime, but there's a kid-friendly version on Nickelodeon.
Okay,
$3.40.
That makes sense because Derek said what game is on Nickelodeon. Is Dora doing the announcing?
No, it's Hannah Montana.
And, yeah,
What game is it?
it's the Bears at the Saints.
Yep.
3:40 kickoff. Sorry, Bears fans. I've got the Saints.
Me too.
I got the Bears.
Wow.
I got the Saints.
I got the
Gonna
Bears.
be hard to win down there.
Yeah.
And then finally, the Cleveland Browns.
Have made the playoffs.
Yes.
Browns
and first
backer.
time since
Congrats.
2002.
They won't get any farther than just making the playoffs.
It's okay. The drought's over.
7:15 kickoff. I've got the Steelers winning this game.
Same.
Same.
Okay. So
Sorry, Mom.
the only one really so Coral's got to move her Indianapolis up against Kansas City because the higher seed gets the lower seed throughout the playoffs.
And Leah has to move. Chicago will now play Tampa Bay.
And I have
Chicago will play Green Bay, and Seattle will play Tampa Bay for her.
And I have to move the Rams over Green Bay, and that's where it gets a little tricky. So without going through what everyone has, who do you have winning the top left side of the AFC? Who would basically your number one versus your lowest seed? Who would you have playing there? Kansas City. No,
I got Kansas City versus Tennessee, and I have Kansas City winning that.
Okay.
Same.
I have Kansas City winning.
I have Baltimore winning. Kansas City goes out in the divisional
Leah
round.
is hot right now, Jay.
Ooh, she's
You are
triggered.
getting daggers thrown at you.
Down on the other side, obviously the Steelers are there. I think because we all took them. Coral will have Colts. Everyone else has Buffalo, right? Okay. So Coral, you have Steelers beating the Colts.
Yeah.
I have Buffalo beating the Steelers.
Why? How? Who are you? I don't even know you anymore.
What? Where?
I got Buffalo as well beating the Steelers.
What?
What?
Who are you?
I'm try.
It's nice
Who
to
do you
meet you.
got?
It's nice to meet you.
You got the Steelers beating
Yeah,
them?
I got the Steelers beating.
Okay.
Because they're going to have their players. How many injured right now? 2? 3?
I don't know.
All right.
They're gonna be back.
In the other side, the NFC, the number one seed,
Green Bay.
yeah,
I have them.
You
I have
have
a matched
anyone
up.
move.
Well,
You would
all of us
have-
have a matched
you
up
have
against
Tampa
Tampa
Bay.
Bay.
Yeah.
not me.
Except for Leah.
Not me.
All
I
right.
had the Rams because
Okay.
I had them, and Leah had Chicago.
Yep.
So she has Green Bay versus Chicago. Leah, who do you have winning that game?
Chicago.
You have Chicago beating Green Bay?
I absolutely do.
Are you
Fantastic.
kidding
I love
me?
your bracket so much.
What do you got,
Silly.
Jay?
I have Green Bay beating the Rams.
I have Tampa Bay beating Green Bay.
I have Green Bay beating Tampa Bay.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, Erickson.
And so the other one, you guys all had Seattle, and
Everybody but Leah had New
Gnarly.
Orleans.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. I like to stand out.
She has Seattle versus Tampa Bay.
okay,
I
So,
did.
Leah, who did you take in that game?
Tampa.
It's Tampa. I have New Orleans beating Seattle.
Me too.
me too.
I might be dumb,
I
but
have
I'm not
Saints winning
stupid.
that. All right, so we got the final four. We got it down. We've got the conference championship. I have Baltimore. Everyone else has Kansas City. We both have Buffalo. You have Steelers. You have Steelers, right?
Yep.
Okay. So who do you? So between your Kansas City, Coral, and the Steelers, who do you have winning?
Kansas City.
Okay.
We don't need to ask Leah.
Yep. Leah's got Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I've got Baltimore versus Buffalo. I have Buffalo winning that game.
Bomber.wronger.
And you've got Kansas. That's good. You've got Kansas City.
I have Kansas City
cute.
versus
Thank
Buffalo.
you.
I have Buffalo upsetting Kansas City.
Derek.
All right. So we both have Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Oh my Lanta.
On my end, I've got Green Bay and the Saints in the conference championship.
Yep.
Bomber, you've got the Bears and Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Yep. And then I've got, yeah.
Yeah, T-Roy, who do you have?
I have Tampa and New Orleans in that game.
Tampa, New Orleans. Okay.
I have Green Bay and New Orleans.
Okay.
And Leah, who do you have winning?
Well, who do you think?
Tampa.
Yep.
Who do you have winning yours?
Green Bay.
Jay?
Green Bay.
I have Tampa beating New Orleans.
We're just all across the map.
I like it.
It's fun to predict.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And who, Leah?
So in your
By the way,
Super Bowl-
hold on.
Man,
Drum roll,
pick one
please,
of
Leah.
them. Yeah.
Who do you have winning the Super Bowl? I bet I couldn't guess.
Tampa City Chiefs.
Tampa City Chiefs.
And who do you have winning them?
Green Bay.
Green Bay winning the Super Bowl. Erickson loves you right now.
Yeah.
Ew.
He's going to be
Jay,
in your
who do you have winning
DMs
the
later.
Super Bowl?
I had the Packers as well.
It goes down.
You had the Packers winning the Super
Beating,
Bowl?
beating Buffalo, yep.
I've got the Buffalo Bills as your Super Bowl champions.
You are out of your GD mind.
You need some more water.
You need therapy. You're too hungover to even
She gave me Excedrin. I feel great.
play this game.
I don't know. That was a tough call.
We'll have to keep these.
I
We'll have
might
to hang
change
them
my
out. So
mind.
we have to hang them up so we
I
can.
mean, I could be way wrong, but I didn't want to go chalk.
I've been wrong in my life a lot more than I've been right. So
Me too.
it's okay.
That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kansas City versus Green Bay and Green Bay wins that.
Green Bay's not going to win against Kansas City.
And then I would win.
Green Bay is really, really good.
If you win, I will do
If
a
Exxon
video with
Valdez
you on
can just not
OnlyFans.
Passes that. I mean,
Did you hear that?
Rodgers threw that pass before Valdez
didn't
was
hear
even
that.
open.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such a great pass.
No.
You didn't hear that.
What'd you say?
I said if she wins, I will do a video with her on OnlyFans.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
I mean, it doesn't have, we could be playing Go Fish.
How do I
It
sign
doesn't
up for
have-
that?
Make a joint account.
How do we
Might
sign
as
up?
well.
Yeah. Can you?
Where do I
could you
go?
link that
How
stuff
do we
or whatever
link
else?
into that?
I'm sure you could link that stuff up. and
I don't
drop
have
it
one
down
yet, but
somewhere.
I'm working on it. I've been
Me
thinking about it
too.
for a while.
Working on it as well. Oh. You get it, Cor?
No.
Oh.
All right. Well,
All
here
right,
we go.
Leah. I'm going to pull up the odds here real quick.
We've only got 6 games to do. So, but you won the season for Guess the Lines. Dominated the end of last week, so let's see if I continue that this week. I don't know how well I feel about any of this. I can tell you just off the top of my head that not off the top of my head, just looking at it, I favored every team that was higher, that was a higher seed for these games.
Okay.
So, there's nothing too crazy out here that I came up with. So,
all right.
All right.
All right, Jay, let's start out. We'll just go from left and work our way down, okay?
Yes, sir.
Tennessee, Baltimore. Baltimore at Tennessee.
This is a straight up game. I only took Tennessee because they're at home. So to me, this is the only one that was even that I considered to be a close spread. I've got Tennessee -3.
I took Tennessee -3.5.
It's Baltimore -3.5.
Holy cow.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Go
So
Vegas.
Jay, you won that one.
Yeah, but not. I don't feel clean about that.
Good, because you are dirty.
Yeah, that's a dirty one
Dirty
to take.
bird.
All right. Pittsburgh Steelers host the Cleveland Browns. Steelers finally get a bye, dear Lord. After playing 4 games in 16 days in December. They finally got a bye because they took a lot of their starters out last week, playing yesterday. So, and Cleveland barely beat the Pittsburgh second string. So, I've got Pittsburgh. I got Pittsburgh favored in this one -6.5.
I got a -3.
Pittsburgh -4.
I get it. I guess. Can you talk me through? Can you talk me through where you got to that?
Well,
on Troy's phone.
There was still a lot of. That's funny. They still played a lot of first stringers on defense. They did give up some yards. It's a tough divisional game that third matchup. I just didn't feel that it should be that large of a spread. That's
They
where
beat him week 5, 38-7. They beat Cleveland.
Yeah, but that was a different Cleveland team, and I mean they're gelling now. I don't know.
I guess.
Are you gelling? I'm
I guess
gelling.
so.
Do you remember that?
Gelling like mud gelling.
Yeah, lost. Yeah, they lost.
All right. Buffalo then hosts Indy.
Yes, going into it, they lost 4 of their last 5. So I guess you can.
Right.
That's scoring a lot of points. Maybe I'm right way off. Okay, sorry. Buffalo versus Indianapolis.
I got Buffalo favorite here. I got a -6.5.
Yeah, we're paddling in the same boat. I got Buffalo -7.
It's Buffalo -6.5. Troy gets a star.
A
Circle
star
gets a
in the
square.
playoffs. All right. Well, moving on to our NFC friends, Jay. Washington hosts the Bucks. And as you said, Tom Brady, 1-6 and 0-7.
0-7 against the spread, 1-6 straight up in his last 7 primetime games.
That being said, he is going to be favored in this game. They've been throwing up some points lately. I like it. I got Tampa -7.5.
Again, we're right by each other. I've got Tampa Bay -7.
It's Tampa -8.
And that's pretty much best I can do is tie here. Just 3 in a row. Okay.
Moving out.
You're gonna get this because I'm gonna be off, and you like Seattle way too much, so you're gonna get this.
All right, Seattle at the Rams. I just have Seattle by 3.5, Jay.
Oh, I thought you'd be much higher. I've got Seattle -5.5.
Call it a tie because it's Seattle -4.5. You guys are such a cute couple.
What do you mean?
Army.
Tricky Jake.
Tricky.
2021 Jay's
tricky and
super
chippy.
different.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, the last game on the docket. New Orleans hosting the Bears. What do you got, Bird?
I've got the Saints -8.5.
We're in the same boat. I got the Saints -7.5.
Jay's going to take this one. It's New Orleans -9.5.
Wow.
Your voice just sounded really nice.
Do you like it when I talk like this?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Can you call me later?
I sure can.
Well, I guess that's always.
You gotta pay for that.
I gotta put all this stuff. We gotta hang this stuff up behind me though, so we can keep track of what's going on. I'm sure we'll spend a lot of time this week breaking some of this stuff down. I'm trying to get some guests on the air too as well.
We're not good enough for you?
No. You're gonna be gone.
That's fine.
Yeah,
you're gonna be gone.
I know.
Give
Who's
my
gonna?
phone back.
No, give it. I was reading your text messages. Give it back.
Obviously, we gotta get.
Really?
Do we have, since it is New Year's or whatever else kind of resolution, do we have a wish list of people before you go that I need to reach out to? Like, that's realistic.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jay.
For guests that we need to reach out to and be like, hey, we need a phone call, or if you
By the way, I didn't realize that Brad Hines had texted me. He got all 7 right.
Did he really?
The running backs.
Oh, did he? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Good job, Brad.
Hines 57.
Yeah, so just think about a list of people that we need to reach out to get on the show. I mean, we usually when everything works organic,
Well,
it's
we
the
need
best
to
for
talk
us.
to Felicia Goodson.
Yeah, I know that.
We need to get her back on the show.
I loved her.
We need to get
We get Randazzo back.
Yeah, but we get the Kellenberg.
Oh yeah.
I want to bring him on. I know we talked about that.
You know who else we need to have on?
We got to get the guy on from the booster from Iowa.
Oh gosh, yes. I thought I sent something out to him.
I sent you the email.
I'm positive I sent it out that double check.
The Bomber babies need to come back.
Maybe it's on the. Yep. We need to get the guy who remember.
We need to get the man who destroyed the buffet.
In July of 2019, we had the football player who wrote the song about the wave.
Yeah.
Dallas Jacobus. Now he's done because it was a senior year. He didn't get a play, so now I think he's going to pursue his music career.
Oh my gosh.
Good for him.
Yeah. So he just went down to Nashville just to go. I don't know, for a trip to go travel to go see some band, and he ended up on stage singing with them.
You know, C.J. Beathard's brother. Someone brought this to me. The one that wasn't murdered. Started. He's a country singer down in Nashville.
Oh yeah.
Eddie said the comedian that we had in.
Oh well, yeah, we could. Yeah.
He was funny.
We need to have him come on.
You have me.
Yeah, you're a comedian, all right.
So, before we go to break, Bomber, you're headed off to where?
I'm going to D.C.
Okay. Where are you going? What are you going for?
To stand up for democracy and stolen election. That's what I'm going for.
Are you going to be careful?
No, hell no.
She says, heck no.
But you're getting your hair done before you go?
Yeah, I got to look good. Like I said, I mean, we know that Trump is going to ask me to be Melania's sister wife, so I've got to look the part.
Are you gonna?
We'll never see Leah again.
Are you gonna do like updates like on TikTok or whatever else so we can see what's going on?
I'm in Facebook jail, so my only options now are Twitter and TikTok. So
You can go live on both of those.
I want you to at Troy the Wino and at Jay Foster.
Yeah, I want
everything
you to go, I want you to go live.
Okay?
Yeah.
I just want to see it.
Yeah.
And at Corral with Cheese.
All right, I will. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be history is gonna be made. You guys will all see. I will be vindicated, and life will go on.
I just
happily.
want to picture you making out with Melania. That's all I'm asking.
You know what? I'm not gonna say no.
All right,
I'll keep your seat warm, Leah.
Thank you. Please do.
I'll fart in it.
Do that. It's fine.
So, will you be back in time for Friday then?
You're gonna be on this side.
I'm gonna make sure I'm back. I fly back late Thursday night, but I will be here Friday because I'm gonna be. I'll be so excited I won't be able to sleep, Jay.
Okay.
I'll be here.
All right. So you leave tomorrow, and you'll come back Thursday night, and we'll see you on Friday then.
I will be here on Friday.
Miss you already.
Yeah.
I miss you guys.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break. When
Love
we
you,
come
Sam.
back, we're going to take a look at some of the stories from the past year, some of the writing that I did, and
He's a good writer.
Not about
He's a very good writer.
Not just about the stuff where I predicted things wrong. So, all right, we'll be right back. ESPN 1170 AM. Bomber, have a safe trip.
Thank you.
I've been earning and burning, snapping necks and cashing.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Coach A.C. Earl. Don't hassle us, we're local.
When you order for Casey's curbside pickup this winter, we bring your order outside.
Today's forecast, colder than the shady side of an iceberg.
So you can stay inside your warm car.
I love my heated seats.
We go outside.
Raw punishing winds.
You stay inside.
They're almost too warm.
Outside.
Tomorrow's high, -3.
Inside.
So toasty.
Order for Casey's new curbside pickup and save with new deals like buy any large pizza, get one half off with promo code BOGO. Casey's, here for staying inside.
Bundle up, folks.
Here for good.
I can't tell you how many times I've been watching football and wanted to bet the game on my phone. Well, guess what? Now I can! Because FanDuel Sportsbook is officially live in Iowa, and now you can register straight from your phone. To celebrate, they're kicking things off in a big way. FanDuel is giving new users their first bet risk-free. That's right! You'll get up to $1,000 back in-site credit if you don't win. Seriously! So not only can you bet on all your favorite teams, but you'll get up to $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. And that's just one of the reasons why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. Ease of use, easy to register, easy to deposit, easy to find your bet. Live betting. Easy to place your bet fast during a game if you see a trend you like. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and be sure to sign up with promo code GOODALL so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook promo code GOODALL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. Side credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Hey, Quad Cities, it's Jaybird with Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Get your local sports talk 12 to 2 with me, T-Roy, Bomber, and Surge. Download the station app to listen to us anywhere, and like us on social media to join in the conversation. Plus, when you sign up to be an ESPN Insider, you'll get access to all of our great contests and everything that's going on at ESPN1170am.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged. We are the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB Davenport.
All right, everybody, we are back. Bomber is on the road. Hopefully she was listening out there, going to get her hair did, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember, Bomber, we want pictures.
Pictures, lives, videos.
Lives.
And by the way, if you're going to fart, you stay over there, sister.
I was just kidding.
Oh, okay.
So
they smell like roses anyway, so.
This was right when we did. So I think I waited till January 1st actually to write this, just because. I mean, why not? Don't leave the just the good stuff in 2020. So I brought the good stuff into 2021. It was kind of interesting because I went through each month of the things that I wrote over the year each month, and kind of looked at every big sports story that was going on during that month. So what I would do is just list like the biggest story of the month, and then I do like other stories. So take you through a walk down memory lane or whatever else. The biggest sports story in January, in my opinion, was the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter.
Absolutely.
And not everything in sports is always like trophies and championships and banners. And that was actually my birthday, so I'll always remember it. And that's just a crazy thing to think of even now. And I know it's a year ago, but it seems like so long ago because of what we went through. Other ones, LSU beating Clemson 42-25 to win the national championship. And then the
fun game.
The Houston Astros just cleaning out staff after the banging scheme is confirmed by Major League Baseball. This is an interesting one. The best post I did of the month that I did, and there's a link to this. You can go to ESPN1170am.com and you can find this. My AFC NFC preview betting was, I'm not going to lie, pretty good. The only thing I didn't do was I said that San Francisco would cover the spread in the game. Everything else was spot on. The overs both hit. I said bet the overs. Kansas City covering spread hit, and my prop bets for Aaron Rodgers and for Patrick Mahomes. The AFC-NFC Championship, though, I'm not going to lie, is not hard to do. Most of the time, the overs hit more times than not. It's a pretty ridiculous percentage, and it's all in there. You can go to that, ESPN 1170. The biggest story, I think, in February was Kansas City finally won their first NFL championship in 50 years. They defeated 49ers in the Super Bowl. Wow. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes became the youngest quarterback to have an NFL trophy and a and a MVP trophy and a Super Bowl ring. Other things going on in February. First time in a long time that I've watched a boxing match. Tyson Fury knocked out Deontay Wilder, and it was a great fight. And I think that's one of those things that we need. We need boxing.
Is that
to come
when he
back
licked him?
Yeah, yeah, and then smiled. Best post I did of that month. If you pay attention to the sports or you're on the show, you'll know that Major League Baseball had threatened to contract minor league baseball well before the pandemic hit. This was something that they were going to do. So Quad City River Bandits owner Dave Heller was on the Today Show that day. So I wrote about that, and there's a link in that as well. And then you got March.
Oh, boy.
You got March 13th, COVID-19, coronavirus. That's when everything shut down. Not the number one story, but the XFL got shut down. And just one more time to remind everybody, I was 15-5 against the spread during that season.
Of course you remember that.
Yeah. In February, free agency hit the NFL, and TB12 left the New England Patriots for the Buccaneers. And the International Olympic Committee was one of the first to, in the future, postpone an event. Obviously, we know we shut down NCAA, but the Olympics, the 2020 Olympics, were being postponed. They were to be held in Tokyo, Japan. And actually, another guy I'd like to reach out to. We had a guy out from New York named David Paro, and he's the founder of a sports marketing firm, but the sports marketing firm Deep Alliance. But that's not the important part. He did a parody of the song American Pie, the day the sports world died.
Oh, yeah.
So the link is on that as well, ESPN 1170. And, you get into more things like when you're getting into April now, this is where the fun story that I always tell everybody is the AC era. And I think this was more May or June when AC did it, but he came in he was in studio to be in the show, and I met him out in the parking lot to let him in, and he said, like, how's the guys going with you guys? Without sports. And I was like, well, we've always been a little goofy anyway. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, whoa, easy, AC. Like, I can make fun of it. So we did this is where we're really pushing everything, and we're trying to come up with new things. But one of the things I did was, the biggest news coming out in April was The Last Dance was now fast-tracked to May.
Right.
Originally, it was going to be played it was going to be over 5 days during the NBA Finals, or around that time, or like right after the NBA Finals. But it was going to be in June. So ESPN, they had 8 episodes done. The producers and directors had to work remotely to get the last 2 done. We know how good that is. But before we even saw it, I wrote a post about, I made a drinking game out of it. Drink every time he's called the GOAT. Drink every time, those type of things. So and then in May, again, the biggest sports story was The Last Dance. It was like crazy for us because it gave us something every Monday. Kind of like when we come in here during the football season, we have 17 weeks to do this, or if you throw in the the playoffs as well, 20 weeks or more. But we got to talk about 2 episodes and break it down and laugh about it and say like how great this is. And so it gave us appointment television, which is something a lot of us don't remember. The last appointment television really was Game of Thrones. I think there's some cable stations that are giving us appointment television. I think like Shameless is kind of appointment television now.
Mandalorian
became appointment television. Yeah, that's right. So we had that as well. So that 10-part series was fantastic. Other things going on there. Now we're starting to get into the protest area of the year. We're starting to hear athletes stand up for things. And then NASCAR came back. They were the first major sport to return. The NFL had a schedule release in the month of May. I wrote about that. You can see some of the highlights they did. Majority of the theme is staying at home.
We had the draft, too.
Yes, we had the draft also. The virtual draft. June was terrible for sports. There wasn't really anything going on. And I wrote a blog about the majority of people just preaching about being socially aware, but not really doing much about it. So that takes us through June. And then we have July. In July, we have Iowa football players coming out talking about racism within the program. And we had a player, then we have someone come out that says that he's the player representative, and he's going to find a way to do a lawsuit against them. His name was Robert T. Green.
We had so much fun with Robert.
Somehow, in some way, I would just, again, there's going to be times where we are going to bash social media. There are times where if you use it right, maybe it can either work in your benefit or you can meet new people. Where we've met like Emily Van Buskirk and Jessica Kleinschmidt through social media. I reached out to Robert T. Green. He didn't answer me. And then on Twitter, someone said something. He started writing there, and I happened to say, it was a Thursday morning, right? It was a Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I happened to reach out to, and then he wrote someone, and then I tweeted at it and said, I reached out to him. He never returned a call. He called me a liar. I started screen snapping my messages to him. So then in turn, he was like, listen, I didn't see it. Send an email. Somehow we got him on the air. It was at 1 o'clock. It was an incredible hour more. We went to about 2:15, and it basically shut down Robert T. Green's whole theory of it. If you go to ESPN 1170 AM, I've got the entire clip up there, starting from when we introduced ourselves to him. He went on to basically say he called us a lot of names afterwards. He said that
called Leah sir.
Yeah, but I mean afterwards he said we set him up to make him sound like a thug. That's not the case. If you go back and just listen to the first 2 minutes, you hear it's me introducing him, saying I want the listeners to understand the person that we're talking to, maybe a background to get the feel of him instead of just jump right into the topic. And we talked to him about his background because it's interesting. It was never to set him up to sound like a thug. But that's what he said afterwards, and that's what he labeled.
Even when we started out, we said it's amazing. He was a victim of a crime. He got shot multiple times, and he survived. That's all we brought up.
Yeah,
we didn't say that he was part of it. You know what I mean? And that's how he tried to paint it afterwards. And that was not what we did at all.
So they there's other as far as we're concerned, that's the most important story was July was to do that. And then we had other people on. We had Dockerman from Athletic on the following week as well because
I got into it.
We didn't read the way that he.
I didn't interpret what he said correctly. Either. But Kakert put some chili sauce on it so that I could digest it, and it turned out fine. And yes, now we are friends with Dockerman.
There were the major sports stories. Major League Baseball finally threw the first pitch of 2020 in July. The NBA went to the bubble, and the Washington football team becomes a thing, meaning that Dan Snyder finally announces that he's going to get rid of the name the Redskins. Biggest sports story also around here in August was the Big Ten football parents going to the Big Ten Conference headquarters in Indianapolis and protesting the cancellation of the Big Ten football season. A few weeks later, the conference decision to cancel season changed. And we had
good for them, and now Ohio State's playing for the title.
That's right.
That's
wild. We didn't even talk about that. Yeah, so it's it was one of those things that Big Ten shut it down. Said nope, we're not playing. And
we had a lot of friends of the show. I think Felicia Goodson went to that.
Yeah.
Jay Kellenberger went to that.
Yep. His wife went there.
Yeah. So I mean, people that listen, people that tune in, that was huge, and congrats.
August was also our month of COVID.
You and I.
Yeah, so we got, that would have been, I believe, August 12th was the derecho. Did I say that right? I always say it wrong. Derecho?
Yeah,
I think derecho.
Derecho, we were on the air and just got blasted by that thing, windstorm. It was roughly sometime around 1 o'clock, I think. And T-Roy and
we didn't lose power that day.
We didn't?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
really?
We did.
We did?
Yeah, that's the one where my face was frozen. Yeah, we lost power.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so they
I always forget good stuff.
And then we went driving around checking out on businesses, whatever else. And roughly by the end of the the week, you had said that you had got tested or whatever else, or
yeah, they tickled my brain and told me I was positive.
And then I had quarantined, and then a couple days, even though I never felt anything, I had gone and I had got tested positive, and I tested 5 times positive. in 25 days, something like that. So there's a 3-part series that you can read about my entire nonsense with it. I call it an altercation because it really felt like it. Contact tracers were not really good to me. Now they just say, you got it, stay home. They really grilled me. But so there's a 3-part series there in ESPN 1170 for August. September, we got college football back, and we got the NFL, right? So we're starting to feel a little normal.
Felt a little normal.
Sporting events were getting messed up in because of the California wildfire. Tampa Bay Lightning wins the Stanley Cup. Just little things like that. So that's when I did my predictions with September. October was the iffy one. Loved the World Series. Loved Game 6, everything about it. LA Dodgers won the title. That was their 7th overall World Series title. They beat the Tampa Bay Rays.
I didn't watch a game of it.
Yeah, that's where the big thing where I was like came in because they took out Blake Snell, who by the way was now with the Padres, and he was pitching basically the game of his life, but they said by the numbers there's a reason for him to go. Lakers won the title in October, and the Storm captured their 4th WNBA title. And looking back on it now, 2 months after the COVID, and I know I've shared this with probably both of you or whatever else, but I didn't make a single post. And I just had lack of motivation. That's the only thing that I ever had about COVID. I always thought I had what I call a hangover, just like a depression. Like I was just like, nah.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, I could write this, and I'd be like, I'll do it later. Like it was just a matter of like going through the motions. So November, I think the biggest story of that month was the Masters being played in November.
Yeah. Well, and DJ finally getting it.
No, and he just dominated.
Yeah.
-20 tournament record.
Broke Tiger's record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Football left and right, but I guess you would say that the Hail Murray was the biggest play of that week, and then the way that they just kind of collapsed afterwards is let's see. The biggest post I did for that month, we got to have on Howard from the Locker Room Sports Audio app, and that was a week I was playing Michigan State, and actually he's remained friends of the show, and we constantly are in contact with him to try to find some way to work with Locker Room, and I'm hoping within the next few weeks we can come to some type of announcement that we can share with you guys. And then in December, we talked about how the NFL got all 256 games. But on December 2nd, it was a Wednesday. It was the first time in NFL history that a game was played on every day of the week.
My wife was so happy.
Mm-hmm. End of 2020 is probably the best story, though, of December.
What?
Just the end of 2020.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
You know, I mean, what do you want to say? Breakdancing is an Olympic sport. I don't think that's the story of the December. And then the only thing I shared was just the idea that I could have, put a couple things in there, but I wanted to throw in the Iowa versus UNC game because it was fun for me not being a huge basketball X's and O guy and being one of the few people to be at a game like that and to see you have it. But yeah, that's just a little our little year in review type of thing.
Big time win, by the way, the weekend for Iowa.
Yeah,
at Rutgers, that was huge.
And for being
Rutgers is really good.
Yeah, Iowa being criticized for not hitting free throws in other games, like against Minnesota, Rutgers wasn't making free throws at the end of that game.
By the way, you were saying this at the beginning of the season about Keegan Murray, and he had his coming out party. I mean, the kid's really good.
Yeah,
and we're lucky. We're lucky to have a great coach who's recruiting well. We got a lot of fun times ahead of us for Hawkeye basketball fans.
Yep. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back here at ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us. We're local.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is Tyson Blazer, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170 AM.
Come on into Tyson's, more for you.
Look out, Iowa. Winter is here. Don't get caught out in the cold. Head to Tyson's for all your winter shopping needs. Let the machine do the work for you with a new snowblower from Husqvarna, Troy-Bilt, or Honda. Layer up with winter clothing from Carhartt and a new pair of boots from Wolverine. Shop with confidence in person or from the comfort of home on Tysons.com. Tyson's, home, farm, auto.
Come on into Tyson's, more for you.
Tanae and Golick Jr.
you can still push forward playing. It's an impossible tightrope. Was it really worth it for you to have to go and mobilize? Is it worth it overall? And that's the hardest thing for me to reconcile when you have a season that looks like the odds of you making it to where you want to go are very slim, and now you're putting people in position where it's not their best luck either.
Janae and Golick Jr., 3 to 6 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Unfiltered. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
Two things. Number one, it feels like Adam Gase, it feels like this is a last-ditch effort, not to save his job, but I think to save his respectability, right? To try to say maybe a future job. Like, I'm trying to do things right. While I'm on my way out the door here, I'm going to try to sit here and say, it's like a confession, essentially, saying like, hey, look, I messed up. I haven't handled my responsibility. That's number one. Number two, I think it's going to be harder and harder to go away from the hype that's going to come with Trevor Lawrence. If you're a New York fan, if you're a Jet fan, you're also worried about maybe even if we do surround Sam Darnold with the right skill sets or the right players, maybe this is who Sam Darnold is. Maybe he never blossoms out of this. It takes a really strong personality to bear out of that and say, that's not who I am. Maybe this is who Sam Darnold is.
Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Play your game with the first bet risk-free, up to $500, only at Elite Sportsbook. Just sign up for a new Elite Sportsbook account and make your first bet online. If it is graded as a loss, we will match it with a free bet up to $500. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for a list of casino locations and sign up today. You will always be in the game with Elite Sportsbook. For a limited time only. Must be 21. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Hey, Quad Cities, this is Jay Bird from ESPN 1170 AM's Don't Hassle Us for Local, and I'm sharing some exciting news with you. BetMGM Sports is coming soon to Iowa. That's right, the same folks that light up the Las Vegas Strip with the world's greatest sports books and casinos will be offering real money wagering on a state-of-the-art app that's easy to use and features all of your favorite sports. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks with parlay bonus payouts, in-game wagering, boosted odds specials, daily promotions, and much more. Plus, every time you make a wager, you'll earn credits in M Life Rewards, the exclusive loyalty program of MGM Resorts. Now, every game and every play will mean something more, no matter what your favorite sport is. It's almost showtime, so get ready to experience sports like never before. Be among the first fans in the state to download the BetMGM Sports app, coming soon to Iowa. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Iowa only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Get out of the house and enjoy beautiful ice sculptures at Ice Travaganza, January 15th through 17th in downtown Davenport. Stroll by the sculptures on the boardwalk at the Freight House, or you can view these amazing works of art from your vehicle in the parking lot. Sculptures are on display Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the best time to see them is when they're lit from dusk till 10 o'clock each night. See live ice carving demonstrations in person or on Facebook Live. The Family Credit Union's warming station will provide free hot chocolate by the fire pit at the Farmers Market patio each night from 5 to 6. A shout out to our additional sponsors: Van Horn Auto Group, Front Street Tap Room, Mid-American Energy Company, Metronet, and this station. Please keep this outdoor event fun and safe by social distancing and wearing a mask. What a great way to get out of the house and celebrate winter. Come see the amazing ice sculptures at Ice Stravaganza, presented by the Downtown Davenport Partnership, January 15th through the 17th.
Can't leave the office during lunch? Well, you can still listen to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local from noon to 2 on Alexa. Download the skill and just tell Alexa to play ESPN 1170 AM to never miss a thing from the Quad Cities Sports Leader. Follow us on Facebook for the latest sports news and join the conversation. This is the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Local on AM 1170.
So I know we make fun of the talking heads or whatever else, but we do need to take a look at the open positions for the NFL that are going on.
Yeah, so let me jot them down quick. We have the LA Chargers.
Yep.
the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I can't believe I wrote down San Diego again.
I know you always do. Jacksonville, the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm. Houston.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, Houston.
Detroit.
Technically Atlanta, right?
In Atlanta, yep.
I think their interim in Atlanta got interviewed to take it over.
Yeah, Raheem Morris did get interviewed.
But I didn't hear if they.
Well, he didn't do such a good job, though. But as far as Detroit goes, the GM position is also open. The Falcons and the head coach you mentioned and the GM position is open. The Texans head coach and GM position is open.
I mean, Eric Bieniemy is getting the job, right?
He's getting a job, I would assume. And then the Jaguars GM job is also open. And
now the other talk is Louis Riddick getting a GM position. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, that's the talk, but his name gets thrown around all the time. So
where would you want to go if you had your choice? If you're out there, if you're Eric sleeping with Bieniemy,
I'm just reading.
And you want to go an interview.
Yeah.
What's the best spot? Obviously, the Jaguars have the first overall pick. That's
okay.
Okay. The Chargers have a great foundation. You got Herbert. You got weapons. You just got to come in and fix the culture. Okay.
Where at that was that?
The Chargers.
Okay.
The Jets, you still have Sam Darnold and the number 2, which I heard they are shopping, Jay, on Twitter.
Who?
The Jets.
Are shopping.
They're shopping the number 2 pick, is what I heard.
Okay.
On Twitter. All right. Down in Houston, you have Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
David Johnson. I know no one cares about that, but he had a pretty good day.
You have Deshaun Watson. You need receivers, and you don't have a first-round pick.
Okay.
That's your con, at least. No first-round pick. In Atlanta, I mean, you have an aging Matt Ryan, but he's still serviceable, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got an aging Julio Jones, but he's still serviceable. But you have a very good Calvin Ridley. Probably just need to flush there, I think. My thought. Kind of just flush the attitude, that loss, that choke loss in the Super Bowl. That, you follow me?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But, I mean, you have talent there. Okay? Detroit, Stafford's good. I like the running back, the rookie. Can't think of his name right now off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Detroit. I mean, even their best players quit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so what's the most attractive of all these?
Well, I do want to point something out real quick that Erickson said on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread that he said, you heard it first, Dabo's going to follow Trevor Lawrence to Jacksonville. That sounds like such a Dabo Sweeney thing to do.
He's not.
The big name going on that's been mentioned for the past
Urban
5
Meyer.
days, Urban Meyer. And he can pick anywhere he wants to go probably. So I guess it's if you're in Urban Meyer's shoes, where do you want to go? Now, obviously, I'm not a big fan of a head coach and a GM at the same time.
Okay.
But if you're Urban Meyer, you're Dabo Sweeney, you're going to ask to be the head coach and general manager at the same time.
Yeah.
And we saw how that worked out for Nick Saban.
That worked so well.
No, it didn't. I am, as opposed to what Greenberg was on beforehand saying that Jacksonville is not the best place to go, and he said they don't have a winning culture. I said I fired back. Well, that's not true. They were leading that AFC Championship game just a few years ago. They were a half away from going to the Super Bowl.
They shopped a lot of talent too.
Yeah.
Out of that.
You got to look at where it is.
It was called Saxonville just a couple years ago.
You got to look at where it is. And the AFC South every year is a wide open. There's not one team that's dominating every year. So if you're looking at a job where you think you can win, Jacksonville and Houston look good because you think you can win.
Well, they got a great running back there already. DJ Shark, right? Or is it? Yeah, DJ Shark.
Yeah, that's their receiver.
He's pretty talented.
Mm-hmm. So you bringing in a new quarterback. You got the number 1 pick. I think you've got strong ownership in Tony Khan.
Yeah.
The only problem that you're ever thinking of is, are they ever going to really pull the trigger? Well, not now, because look what they happened. But as in 5 years, if I'm still there, are they going to want to go to London? Because, I mean, they play like 3 games there.
Yeah, but they're not going to London.
So let's just jump over to what Greeny said. He said he thinks Houston is the best place to go.
I disagree.
Because you have Deshaun Watson, you have a quarterback, not just a number. He's
great. Listen, I love Deshaun Watson. I think he's super talented.
Mm-hmm.
But you're coming into a situation. He's talking about Jacksonville not having a winning culture. What's Houston done? I mean,
they talk about a winning culture. They don't do it. Look at J.J. Watt 2 weeks ago saying that they just played like, SHIT and they're going to have to do better and whatnot. And just do it. Don't just come out in week 16 and just say like, oh, we just played like crap today. And they did. They lost to Cincinnati. But that was
the best job out there is the Chargers. I'm sorry.
Okay. You got Austin Eckler.
You got Eckler. You got Williams, Keenan Allen.
Yep. You got Herbert.
You got the other Bosa kid on the D line. Was it Joey?
Yeah, that's true.
You got. I mean, you're coming up. That team 2 years ago was 12-4.
Yes, 2 years ago they were.
And that was under Phillip Rivers. You got this Herbert kid who just looks like the man.
The problem is Kansas City stands in your way in the West.
That's fine. Kansas City. If here's the deal, Jay. Do you want to win a Super Bowl? At some point, you're probably gonna have to beat Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you're gonna, the majority of these jobs that are, all right, 4 of these jobs are in the AFC. Okay, so at some point, Kansas City's not just gonna roll over. They're gonna be good for a while. You would think.
Okay.
Barring injury or whatever else. So eventually you're going to have to beat Kansas City anyway. But what do you want to do it with? I think the Chargers are the best job. Hands down.
I'm fine with any one of those 3 interchangeable parts, to be honest with you. But then you're going to have to do your bottom 3, and I think at number 4
and let me go to my mock draft.
Okay. Yeah, let's see where the draft order, where they're looking at.
So on draft order, right now, the Chargers are at the 13th pick. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hit the mock on it, and this is anybody that wants to look on this, go to tankathon.com, TANKATHON. And this one, to me, has been the greatest app out there. So what they have, this is from tankathon.com, a mock draft set up at 1, Jay, the number 1 pick. They have the Jaguars taking Trevor Lawrence. At 2, I think this is wrong, but they have the Jets taking Zach Wilson from BYU.
Okay.
At 3, getting the pick from Houston, they have the Dolphins taking Penny Sewell, the old offensive tackle from Oregon. At 4, they have the Falcons taking Justin Fields.
Ohio State.
Bye-bye, Matt Ryan. Or keep Matt Ryan, mentor the kid. At 5, the Bengals taking the linebacker from Penn State, Micah Parsons. The Eagles at 6, getting the speedy wideout from LSU, Jamar Chase.
I'm looking at that Houston thing, and I'm now not putting them in the top 3 because of what Bill O'Brien left them with the cupboard as far as picks go.
Right.
So I'm not looking at that as a I don't know why Greeny's saying that's the number 1 place to go.
Nah, that's what I'm telling him. He went to Northwestern, but he's not that smart. All right, at 7, the Lions. There you go, Dazzo. You're getting Devonta Smith. Man, that kid's talented too.
Mm-hmm. Really talented. And that's what they need. They need another type of Megatron
Detroit,
type of guy.
Yeah, but that's, man.
That's
on
their biggest.
top of Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones and Swift, DeAndre Swift. That's a running back.
Mhm.
Man, this team could be good quick if they had a good coach. All
If
right?
you're looking at Atlanta, you're playing in a division where 2 quarterbacks might not be there in 5 years.
Right.
So you could flip that culture and get that going. Atlanta moves into the top 3. Jacksonville stays up there because they have 2 picks in the first round. They got the number 1 overall, and they've got the pick from the LA Rams for the Jalen Ramsey.
Well, we'll keep going on this.
Yeah.
At 8, they have the Carolina Panthers taking who I think is going to be a Hall of Famer, Patrick Surtain, the cornerback from Alabama. He also plays safety. He's very, very. And then at 9, I don't know if this seems right to me, but they have the Broncos taking Trey Lance, North Dakota State's quarterback.
Oh, everybody! Yeah, he played 1 game. Everyone loved him. That's why they did. They basically made a showcase game out of him.
Really?
He played 1 game, so he could. Yeah.
Okay. And then the Dallas Cowboys at 10. They get the cornerback out of Virginia Tech. This kid's very good too, Caleb Farley. Farley. 6'2", 207. Kid's got speed too. I wouldn't be mad at that pick. Then they have the Giants taking Gregory Rousseau, the edge rusher out of Miami. And then, you ready there?
Ohio
Are you
State.
awake? Yeah. Are you looking at it?
Yeah.
Well, look at you. Gosh, you're so smart. Wyatt Davis, the O-lineman, interior O-lineman from Ohio State. Wyatt Davis going to San Fran. Watch out for San Fran, too, Jay. They're going to be really good next year.
Let's go Niners.
The Chargers then get the offensive tackle from Northwestern, Rashawn Slater. Then the Vikings are taking Kwity Paye. Espn going to tell you the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ooh, this is interesting. The Patriots at 15 taking Jalen Waddell from Bama.
Waddle?
Yeah, Jalen Waddle. He's very fast. And
Does he
then,
waddle?
Jay, this is going to be interesting. I don't think this guy falls here to 16. Kyle Pitts, the tight end of Florida, they have him going to the Cardinals at 16.
Ooh, they could use that.
Ah, man, that would be a lot of weapons. I think that guy goes for that. The Raiders are going to take the linebacker from Notre Dame, Jeremiah. Pronounce that one fast. Owusu Koromoa. Then the Dolphins, with their next pick, wide receiver out of Minnesota, Rashawn Bateman. Kid's good. That's going to be, wow. That's interesting. And then the Washington football team, Jay, takes Mac Jones from Alabama, the quarterback.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, obviously they just waived Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
Since we were on the air, I think it was a good move. Booger McFarland went on and talked about this on one of their ESPN roundtables.
Yes,
And
I retweeted this. Yes.
Okay, did you? All right, he caught a lot of flack about this, and someone else shared it on social media on Facebook, and I said it was about I think it was Yahoo Sports that basically was giving Booger a hard time about coming down on the unprofessionalism of, and he said, he goes, and more importantly, of African Americans. And the writer went off to say, like, well, where's the Ryan Leafs? Where's the Johnny Manziel? And it's one of those things, like, I commented. I said, I think it's more not necessarily a racial thing. And Booger wasn't. I don't think Booger was trying to be racial, but he was just pointing it out because of the fact that Dwayne Haskins was African American. But what I even said, I think it's more of a generational, because I pointed out Johnny Manziel. Mm-hmm.
Look at him. I go, kind of the same thing where you're going in thinking that the world owes you a championship. The world owes, I'm the man because people tell me I'm the man online. Mentality rather than I have to earn it. And I think it's I think my just thought was it was more generational than it was anything across any racial barrier.
Booger's thing was that these younger guys are trying to build like a brand instead of go in there and do their job, watch the tapes and everything. So But he did mention African Americans, and maybe he was just speaking just to be like, for those out there that are watching me because I'm on the air and they don't watch the white guys. I don't know. But the Yahoo Sports guy, I was just like, this is a really interesting take, calling Booger out, but you're a white writer doing it. I just was feeling, well, it was like one of those things. Like, so really, if you go back to, and this wasn't me, Mike Lombardi from the GM podcast. Was a GM for with the Browns when Belichick was there. He worked in the front office for the Patriots also. He's been around. He knows everybody in the league. He gets all the news or whatever else. He was told, and I said this last year, that Dwayne Haskins, his attitude was awful. Like the players couldn't stand him. He walked around like he was owed something. He basically, Dan Snyder told him, "You are our guy. You're going to lead this program, this franchise for whatever else. You are it." And he like went around telling people, "I'm the man." So he just automatically was told by the owner. Now that's his fault, that this is how it's going to be. And just like you said to Manziel, you're the guy. And they are branding. I mean, Johnny Manziel, you see the gift doing the money thing. They are trying to brand things. But what Booger brought up was Jamarcus Russell. Same thing. I mean, you know the stories about Jamarcus Russell. They sent tapes home with him that were blank.
Right. And
they said, "We want you to watch film." He said, "Okay." They came back the next day. "What'd you see?" He starts lying to him. They were sending him blank. So it is an era of professionalism, and it's a different type of atmosphere up there. Like in the NFL, they'll call meetings just to call meetings because they want you there, and you have to be there for these things.
But it's not, right? We say it, I know it's cliche, but once you're done with college, it's not just a game anymore. It's business.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I mean, that's it. Period.
And I think, so this leads me to another thing. So 2 years ago, Arizona went back-to-back picking quarterbacks in the first round. Josh Rosen and Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
And everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's crazy." But now it's kind of like, okay, hey, listen, we gave him a tryout. We're going to see what happens. Kind of like what they're doing with what they did in Miami with Tua. They didn't know where their season was going. Didn't know and they were like, "Listen, we're going to give this a try. We're going to see if we want to do something with this. We have all these picks coming up. We're going to see if it works." There's nothing wrong with saying you made a mistake. So in God's world, why can't Jerry Jones say I made a mistake?
Why do you get my blood pressure going?
I'm just saying, like, I was driving here today, and I'm glad I just remembered it, because I was like, what is the whole thing of like, no, that's my guy, I'm sticking with him. Why isn't it not okay to just go, we zigged when we should have zagged.
I mean, he
doesn't work.
He has to look at just that last game and look at the coaching decisions made, and not off that alone you could fire the guy.
It's like I said, they do this stuff all the time. Like, who just went out? Chan Gailey just got fired as offensive coordinator. He's only been there a year. Where was he at?
Who fired Chan Gailey?
He's an offensive coordinator somewhere. Hold on.
He used to be a head coach for the Cowboys.
I know, but he was retired, and then he came back offensive coordinator, and now he's out again. So, I think it's Miami. He's offensive coordinator down there. So, but and that's why. And then your answer is, well, that's why they have these buyouts to protect him, so that they don't. But you look at Anthony Lynn, 33-31, 12-4 2 years ago. It's
lost a lot of close games.
And then everyone's going to say, well, he lost his quarterback.
No.
I mean, they're going to say that about McCarthy, though, Well, he lost his quarterback.
Okay.
Well, a lot of people did.
Andy Dalton's a very good backup. Andy Dalton started for years in this league and wasn't that far removed from being the starter. And I mean, they went out and got a great backup.
So
you had terrible coaching. You had injuries to the O-line, I'll give you. But that O-line did not play all that bad down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
You coach your team. You coach the backups. You have to have the backups ready. You have to have – the NFL is injury prone constantly. You can't use that as an excuse. Every team has them.
Yes, and that's the other thing. So then what? All of a sudden Doug Peterson gets a bye from doing dumb stuff because he won the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback? Or was that Frank Reich?
Quarterbacks you think about that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Frank Reich was probably more the architect behind that than he was.
So Belichick is the man.
Since Reich's been gone, that offense hasn't been the same.
So Belichick can take Matt Castle and turn him into an 11-4 season, or 12-4 season, 11-5 season,
11-5,
and it's all coaching, but it's not McCarthy's fault when he can't do it with the Andy Dalton backup.
Right.
Those are the things I don't like. I don't like when they come on the air and they're like, well, I mean, look at his year. Look what he had to deal with.
Yeah.
People deal with it all the time. It's adversity.
Yeah. You're making excuses for mediocrity. Is what you're doing.
The play calling doesn't do anything about it. I mean, I'm not at that interception in the end zone was not a good throw by Andy Dalton. There was triple coverage. He was going to try to drop a grenade right in the middle of three guys.
Yeah.
So, and right before that, there was a mistake on the offensive line. There was second and 8 and something. And then he got dropped for it was 2nd and 3, and then he got dropped for a 9-yard loss and moved it to 3rd and 11. Yeah. And no one blocked the guy. Nobody.
Right.
So it's not just, look at what he had to deal with. But all right, well, that's our first show of the new year, guys.
It's over already?
It's over already, yep.
Oh, no.
We can come back tomorrow. I'll be working on some guests that we're going to be talking to. I don't know if
Pearl, you got to sit by me
got
tomorrow.
something or whatever else.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll reach out to some people. We'll talk to, I'll see what Emily's doing, see if she can call in. That'll be good. So, and we'll talk about
she went to some bowl games.
Oh, well, we'd love to hear about that.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's a new year, 2021. Coral, thank you so much. Bomber, have a safe trip. T-Roy, always a pleasure, my friend. Good job by you today.
Wow, I love you more.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Have a hassle-free day, year, week. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't Hassle Us Local here on ESPN 1170 AM.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Turk Wendell, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
Janae and Golick Jr.
We're going to get probably IU and Northwestern in the Big Ten title game, and then have people staring up and wondering here, is Ohio State going to make it? I could see a very real world where they're missing the playoff all of a sudden. It's less to me about the sanctity of a conference championship, which has never, quite frankly, meant all that much to me. It's about another data point. And the Big Ten creating an opportunity for Ohio State to have that chance to show the committee yet again, because that's what conference championships really are. Not something you can hold over Notre Dame's head as an independent for all these years, but an opportunity when all of the committee is watching to go out there and show we deserve to be a part of this, because with the schedule they've played so far, with the performances Ohio State's put out there, I think you would have a hard time saying that resumes mean anything and allowing that Ohio State team in the playoff as it currently sits.
Janae and Golick Jr. 306 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Unfiltered. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahinte.
Two things. Number one, it feels like Adam Gase, it feels like this is a last-ditch effort. Not to save his job, but I think to save his respectability, right? To try to say, maybe a future job. Like, I'm trying to do things right. While I'm on my way out the door here, I'm going to try to sit here and say, it's like a confession, essentially, saying like, hey, look, I messed up. I haven't handled my responsibility. That's number one. Number two, I think it's going to be harder and harder to go away from the hype that's going to come with Trevor Lawrence. If you're a New York fan, if you're a Jet fan, you're also worried about maybe even if we do surround Sam Darnold with the right skill sets or the right players, maybe this is who Sam Darnold is. Maybe he never blossoms out of this. It takes a really strong personality to bear out of that and say, that's not who I am. Maybe this is who Sam Darnold is.
Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
If you don't think analytics are a useful tool in winning games in sports, then what you should do is when you go to the racetrack, you should just pick horses based upon which one you think is the prettiest. You should disregard everything else you might find in a racing form. You should pick stocks based upon how much you like the names of the companies. Disregard information that might help you make an informed decision. You wouldn't do that because you're not an idiot.